Number 7, they got win number 1. And now, in the nightcap, they go to the All-American Emily Kennedy in the circle.
The fire slinger, what I like to call her. Lefty and 70. She's going to come at you hard up in the zone with that rise ball. Can really throw quite a few pitches for a strike in the zone. But really what you're going to see from her is that commanding presence. She wants the ball at all times. She is the ace through and through of this staff. And we're going to see her compete.
So for Texas A&M, they're 1-0. Purdue has not played yet, so this is their season opener. And it's Chloe Banks to start it off for the Boilermakers. Emily Kennedy, the hard stuff up and the swing and a miss by Banks. Banks, a 2-year starter. Last year was the team's best hitter. 345 was the average.
Yeah, very quick 1-2 spot in this lineup. Chloe Banks and Mariah Poehler, 2 speedy slappers who are really going to test the A&M defense.
Caught the inside corner and stays in the count. Emily Kennedy, now a senior, after a prominent career at Lake Creek High School near Houston, has become a dominator in the circle at Texas A&M.
She's really gotten better year after year. She's figured out a way to level up her game, whether it's adding another pitch or adding a speed or just refining that speed. And that's the one right there that she's worked on all fall. The changeup is going to be a game changer for her this year. It's become more consistent. She's worked on it in the fall. You see 70, and then she turns around and pulls the string. Ooh, that's a dirty pitch. I do not want to be on the receiving end of an Emily Kennedy changeup.
That's what makes it scary. Already one of the best in the country, and coming into 2025 has really added to the arsenal. Faces Mariah Poehler after striking out Chloe Banks.
And there's a lot of factors in play too, right? Purdue has not played yet, so this is their first game. So all of those nervous jitters and anxiety of the first game, getting ready to get out there, that's in full effect for the Boilermakers right now. And also, it's nighttime. It's a lot harder to read the ball as a hitter under these lights, and not to mention, even tougher when the pitcher's gassing it at 70 plus consistently.
Hard enough to pick up on.
Right, it's like, do you need any more help,
yeah,
or what do you want?
Called strike on a check swing by Mariah Poehler. Poehler is a Texan from Pearland, went to Shadow Creek High School. Emily Kennedy starts the night off. 2 batters, 2 Ks.
That lefty on lefty matchup is tough. I saw a rise, a drop, and then here she comes back with the curve on the outer half, sweeps across. If she can consistently hit that spot, she's going to challenge these Purdue hitters.
Now it's Olivia Meeks. Meeks hit 304 last year, but different deal when you're facing Emily Kennedy. Kennedy a chance to strike out the side and the top of one as Meeks down to the count 0-2. And upstairs and missed. Kennedy All-American last year, preseason All-American in 2025. Struck out all three in the top of one. Emily Kennedy showing you why she's so dominant.
And not wasting any time, using a variety of pitches. Emily Kennedy is going at these Purdue hitters.
Purdue 3 up, 3 down in the top of one. Emily Kennedy struck out all three Boilers to the plate. Now Purdue will counter with Emma Bailey in the circle, sophomore from Indianapolis. Last year, her redshirt freshman season, pitched in 10 games, started 5 of them, had a 2-3 record. Coco Woolley leads off for A&M. Is a nightmare on the base paths, just a dynamic player, so electric. That's what we like to call her. If she gets on base, look out. She can get to home plate in a hurry. There's the Aggie lineup. Woolley followed by Powell and Barbara. Tried the bunt, went foul.
And this is a big task that Emma Bailey is going to have to step into, because A&M is coming off a lot of momentum in game one. Back-to-back-to-back home runs. You heard it in the open. A&M has got the mo right now. They've got the momentum on their side. Even though this is a new game, those doubleheaders allows you to take that momentum into the next game.
Not in time. Woolley on a high chopper is hard to get. And now they'll have to deal with her on the base paths.
She's just so quick. Like, what can you do in that situation? That's a routine ground ball to shortstop, and she legs it out. I mean, you see how crucial Coco Woolley is to this lineup. She can change the outcomes of plays just on her legs alone.
And she's going on the first pitch. That's into center field. Backing things up, Mariah Poehler, but Woolley already at second base.
And the protection on the swing from Powell. That just really took me back. I haven't seen that in a while, and the way she did it was like, it reminds me so much of being in select ball and like really waiting to the last minute, try to get in their eyes, which that is what you're supposed to do. But wow, I haven't actually seen that in a while. I don't think Coco really needs the help on a steal, but hey, it never hurts being a good teammate, giving her some protection.
As we said already during that first game, it's Utah State. She occupies the mind of the defense.
She's occupying my mind, but I'm not even on defense.
She's fun to watch, so you're going to notice her anytime she's on the base paths. Woolley was 2 for 3 in that first game, and then starts tonight off with an infield single. Powell will get that to drop in. Throw came home, so Powell is taking second base. Heads up.
It was a good read there by Woolley at second base. She turned her back towards the field, eyes towards the ball. Was able to see that drop. I thought maybe Poehler had a chance there, but it was quite shallow. Coco getting to third base. Kennedy Powell taking the backside base. Would have liked to see Purdue have a cut there, cut that off, not allow her to get to second base, keep the runners on the corner.
And Powell took advantage of the mistake.
Absolutely.
Mac Barbara, foul ball on the first pitch. Barbara comes from San Diego State, 45 career home runs for the Aztecs, and launched her first home run as an Aggie earlier tonight. part of that big 8-run 6th inning that allowed Texas A&M to overtake Utah State. Showed you the highlights a moment ago, and Barbara started back-to-back-to-back homers in that all-important frame.
All opposite field. I'm like, hats off.
Made it more impressive.
Yeah,
that's the icing on the cake. Icing on the 3-layer cake.
Oh yeah, anybody can pull a home run, but you can go oppo. That's a hitter.
Barbara's went off the scoreboard. Chance for the Aggies to strike first. Part of those back-to-back homers is on deck. Perez was excellent in the win over Utah State. She went 3 for 4 with 4 runs driven in.
Yeah, casual.
Just a nice opening day at the park. Bases will be loaded for Perez because Mac Barbara draws a walk.
I feel like this is a situation that the Aggies are going to see quite often this season, because teams know the damage that Mac Barbara can cause. But what they don't know, because of her age, right? She's only a sophomore. Maya Perez is going to provide that protection for Mac Barbara this season. You're not going to be able to just put her on base, because Maya Perez is going to say, hey, you got to deal with me too. And I think we saw that last game with the back-to-back home runs. She wants to join in on the party. She's got just as much pop as Mac Barbara does. She just finally has the opportunity to show it this season.
So Perez, after Barbara walks and loads them up, stake the Aggies to an early advantage. Into center field, 4th hit of the day for Maya Perez. Brings home 2 more. That's 6 RBIs today for Perez as Woolley and Powell score.
She's seeing the ball well. And my favorite thing about a hitter is when they have power, knowing that that's not the only thing they bring to the field. Yes, we know you can hit the ball 300 feet, but it's the ones that you miss hit. Can you stick with it? Can you find a hole? Can you contribute in other ways other than just the long ball? Right there, she gets it done with a single. Another 2 RBIs tacked on her day.
Allie Enright. Inside pitch and a swing and a miss.
There we go.
Just off the knob there.
The year-to-year improvement by Allie Enright at the plate has been considerable. In 23, she hit 210. Last year, hit 308. 2023, she hit 4 home runs. Last year, 10. And in 2023, she drove in 18 runs. Last year, 41.
And I think Enright's the perfect example of experience pays off, right? The first year she comes into A&M, she was a transfer from Arizona who didn't get to play very much. So really coming in was like her freshman year, getting her feet wet, understanding what the league is like. And then last year, she's got a year of experience under her belt, and we saw her flourish. Now, coming into year 3, she's known as a leader in the program, and she really is who they look to. She's taken the young ones and guiding them, but personally, she's become more confident, believing in herself, knowing I am a good hitter, instead of kind of maybe questioning it in the past, like, am I a good hitter? Do I belong here? Now she knows she belongs here, and I feel that truly is the difference at this level.
With that experience, the production has risen. They're expecting some numbers like that this year, over 300, double-digit homers. We talked about this in the first game, though. I mean, she was off to a monster start last year. Was hitting over 400 when April arrived. Cooled off a bit down the stretch. And Mac Barbara will take advantage of the ball in the dirt. The catcher, Delaney Reef, couldn't find it. Barbara takes home.
Now this ball just gets away. Reef doesn't quite get around it, but okay, Speedy, I see you, Mac Barbara, taking a base. She said, I can steal bases and hit home runs.
Bubbles in the air. Purdue. They don't have an out in this bottom of the first. They need to talk it over. A&M has already put up 3, and Maya Perez is standing on second base. Allie Enright possibly a pitch away from working her way aboard as a full count offering is coming to her from Emma Bailey here.
And taking a look at game 1 compared to game 2 starts, vastly different. We saw the Aggies really only getting 1 AB through the 3rd, 4th inning, right? Going pretty quick, up and down, 3 up, 3 down. Now they're already in the 5th spot with no outs. They're taking that momentum from the last game.
Hit hard to left field and down the line, but run down by Chloe Banks.
Yeah, Banks out there in left field. Her and Polar really have been such a duo for the Purdue Boilermakers. They patrol that outfield extremely well.
Here's Olivia Johnson making her Aggie debut as the catcher. That got away. Perez to third base. Second wild pitch of the inning. So Olivia Johnson from Pearland, Texas, but went to UW, Washington. And for her senior year, transfers down here to Texas A&M. She hit 300 up in Seattle last year. For a career in a Husky uniform, she hit 257 with 19 homers.
I still remember when she first started her career at UW. They opened up in Puerto Vallarta, the very, famous tournament for college softball, and she hit 3 home runs in 1 game. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, who is this freshman? And it was Ojo, and she...
That'll put you on the radar.
Yeah, absolutely. She's continued to do that. She offers a really great power bat to this lineup. We talked about it the first game, but the transfers that A&M have added this year, they may be new, but they still provide a lot of experience. Mac Barbara as well, being one of them.
Tried to get through the left side, but Julia Gossett will field and throw. And there's 2 out, and it keeps Perez right there at third base. Perez wants to come home with the 4th run of the inning. KK Dement, the freshman, will try to bring her in. Go back to that big 6th inning in which the Aggies put up 8 runs against Utah State. We were very impressed that it started with 2 really good at-bats that were walks by freshmen. KK Dement, one of them, and it was Froschel, the other one who hits next, Frankie Froschel. But that really got it started. And then you look up, and the Aggies are starting to hit the ball out of the park, and it's an 8-run frame. That'll land foul.
It helps when you've got a triple, 2 RBI triple from Kramer Eshte.
Yeah.
But again, it would be no run scored if they don't battle through those ABs and get on base. And especially leadoff walks. Like, those are huge. Put you in the right position, trying to come back from a trailing inning. Here she is right there. Look, she's getting ready already.
Yeah.
And I'm getting my dry reps.
I think what Kramer Este did in that first game has her plenty ready for the second one. Foul territory into the glove of Olivia Meeks. Texas A&M a 3-spot in the first. 7th ranked team in the country up going to the second. On to College Station and SEC country to partake in this Aggie Classic. Final game of the first day. A&M and Purdue will also meet on Sunday. So the Aggies and Boilers will see each other twice. Emily Kennedy, brilliant, dominant in the first inning. Now goes against Julia Gossett to start the second. And starts her off with a strike.
Swung out of the Evo shield there.
Got to readjust.
It's coming pretty hard.
Bouncing ball at KK Dement. Easy play for the freshman. Emily Kennedy last season ranked 3rd in the nation in shutouts and complete games. 200 strikeouts exactly last year. First Aggie in 11 years to hit the mark.
Yeah, she was really dominant last year. And when you look at, you know, a pitching staff, if anything, she needs help to really make her more effective. And that's what the coaching staff really talked about this year, was adding pieces to complement her, to help her, because by the time you get to the end of the season, when you've thrown that many innings, that many games, complete games, you're gassed. That's a long season. So being able to bring pieces in like a Sydney Peters, transfer from Washington, like a Emily Levitt, who's really worked on her craft and try to get a little bit more command in the zone, but also bringing in a Grace Sparks, who's the complete opposite of Emily Kennedy, I think is going to allow her to stretch out those innings a little bit more and give her an opportunity to rest and then come in and really close that door when she needs to. And she'll be fresher in the long term as well.
She has a 2-2. Kendall Bailey, and that's her 4th strikeout, having faced 5 hitters.
I know it's early, Will, but she really does look mid-season form. Just using that power, but not overthrowing. She's painting the corners. She's really relying not just on speed, but placing that location. And I think a lot of that comes down to tunneling. All these pitches look the exact same to the hitters until they're not.
Delaney Reef to right field on the run. Frankie Fragile got there in the gap. Reef made a bid for a base hit off Kennedy, but Fragile robbed her. Tricia Ford begins her 3rd season at Texas A&M, and Tori, when we talked to her earlier this week, she feels like it's really her program now. You build it, and then I think she felt like once got to year 3, her stamp is really on the Aggie program. It's kind of hers moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you come in the first year and you're kind of just testing the waters, seeing how things are going. Second year, you're like, okay, now we have some experience. But year 3, it's in her hands now. Yeah. She's definitely reconfigured this program, really made it more of a blue collar, focus on the details, focus on the process rather than the outcome, because you know that'll come.
Base hit. Frankie Fragile to start off the bottom of 2. It's a new pitcher in the game for Purdue. It's Kendall Klochak. And right away, Vroschel greeted her with a hit. Klochak, a senior from Grand Blanc, Michigan.
Yeah, Klochak going to be someone who really attacks the zone. She limits free passes. So if I'm A&M, I'm thinking anything over the plate. Anything over the plate. She's going to give it to me. She's going to give me a strike. Anything over the plate, I'm hacking hard. Trying to make something happen.
Kramer Eshte wowed us all in the first game. What can she do for an encore? Way out. Klochak in the circle. She was quality for Purdue last season. Some really good numbers in there. Led the Big Ten in whip average, right at 1.01.
And she pitched 92 innings and only had 13 walks.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's what every coach asks for, right? Throw strikes. Don't issue the free passes. Kramer Eshte has taken her to a full count. Eshte not only made the great defensive play in the first game, went 2 for 3 at the plate, couple of RBIs, had a triple, stays hot. Hard hit ground ball to right field, and 2 Aggies aboard to start the bottom of the second. Turning that lineup over.
Rajal having to play a little hopscotch out there to miss that ball. But Eshte goes down and gets that ball. See her hover over the backside and get her foot down and rotate to that ball. That was a shot. And Ramos, how about that cannon from right field? Got that in quick.
Good throw across, yeah.
Yeah, Rajal's got speed, and she couldn't get first to third.
A&M against Utah State earlier didn't have a hit through 3 innings. They have 4 base hits. Actually, excuse me, 5 base hits the first time through the lineup in this one.
Beautiful curveball. There's nothing quite like a lefty curve. It's really tough too.
Especially
for
against those lefties.
Yeah, I was going to say lefty on lefty is really tough. You don't see it very often. The angle is very different. It's also more like sweeping away from you. You almost don't see it until it's too late. And then by the time you swing, you realize, oh, I'm late.
When you see it as a left-handed hitter, you feel like there's not a whole lot I can do with it.
Right, you blink, and two, a lot of lefties hide. So when they go open into their K motion, their hip almost closes as the ball is coming out, so it's like a peekaboo.
Woolley tries the gap, shallow, run down by Mariah Poehler.
I think that curveball is going to cause a lot of the lefties to get underneath and try to push it towards the right side. You've got to be able to identify that pitch and trust that you can get your barrel there and extend towards right center instead of trying to almost force it that way. Just let it fly. Let that bat speed, that barrel whip come through the zone and meet it. instead of trying to beat it there.
Powell shows bunt. Laid it down perfectly. There is no play.
Oh, no.
And now she sits on the turf behind first base.
Oh, I think it's just a cramp.
Trainer will come out. She could have maybe even gotten up the line quicker. She had to avoid the ball first. Got close to running right into it. But once she got past it, that bunt was perfectly placed. Died in the right spot. No play on her. Tricia Ford also out.
It takes a lot of barrel control to be able to bunt and control where it goes. As a lefty, a lot of times you get pitched as outside, right? They want you to go towards the left side of the field, but I think Kennedy Powell is really good at reading the ball and manipulating the barrel to get around it. So no matter where it's placed, she can always bring it down the first base side with her. And probably 9 out of 10 times she's going to be safe when she does that, because that is such a difficult angle for a first baseman to field. See here, she gets right to it and brings it with her. Has to almost jump over it. Yeah, I think right as she hit the base, she started to slow down. I think maybe her calf just locked up on her and cramped a little bit.
Good to see that she stays in the game.
Yep, you see Coach Heff at first base mimicking drinking water, like get some hydration in there. Yeah. Especially, it's a humid night tonight, right? You're excreting a lot of sweat, so it's easy to lose those electrolytes. Got to take care of the body, take care of the machine.
Humid, but a nice night. Temperatures rising just in time for opening day. Got up to around 80 degrees earlier today, even though it's early February.
Don't jinx it.
But it's also Texas. I mean,
unpredictable.
Warmth can arrive.
The groundhog saw a shadow, so
that's right.
Let's calm down. Let's not get too excited.
But that groundhog's in Pennsylvania. That's not down here
in
Texas.
The Texas groundhog.
Yeah, no, not at all. Oh, into foul territory. Unable to make the play as Banks and Franks were heading out there. Chloe Banks in left field, Kylie Franks at shortstop.
Now we see both going to, I think there was just a lack of communication here. You see Franks thinking she's going to catch it. Banks had the clear angle. Got to take charge there as an outfielder. That's your ball all day, especially with a quick runner at third base and the tag being an option.
Well, let's see if Mac Barbara can make them pay. If you're Purdue, you're thinking should be 2 outs. Really good hitter at the plate, and you gave her an extra chance.
Yeah, probably the last person you want to give an extra chance to.
Missed the corner on the outside. Is it fair? It just went foul, but I mean a mammoth shot down the right field line that just went foul. She's not leaving the base paths.
Wow. I mean, it looked fair from here, but we have the worst angle that you could probably see.
I mean, now it doesn't help that that's so high over the foul pole. Because, I mean, absolutely crushed.
And because it was originally called foul, that ball cannot be replayed. But just absolutely demolished that ball, literally into the night sky. I didn't see it land.
The only thing that caught that was darkness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, just ripped. Tried away and missed again.
It's good plate discipline right there, knowing you just yanked one a million miles into the darkness, knowing that they're going to try to get you back out on your toes. I don't think that they're going to try to come back in after that ball, but
it's not advisable.
But they could with a backdoor curve. I mean, that's still, if it's in the right spot, it can be effective. An illegal pitch.
Full count. Confirming that was home plate umpire Annette Bergman.
We have stats on that foul ball, by the way. 306 feet.
Oh, are you kidding me? It's not a myth.
Wow.
That's how far she can hit the ball. Opposite field. Banks came in first, and it went over her head. 2 Aggies will score. Froschel and Este. Powell goes to third.
Such a mature at-bat by Mac Barbara. Even though this pitch is probably not one that she would think, oh yeah, this is my pitch, she fought to get this pitch and put a great swing on it. She didn't swing that hard, but this ball jumped off the barrel. Banks in left field gets a good read, but it's just too far above her head, 2 in easily. Great backup there as well. I think we will see a change in the circle.
We will get a change, and we will take a break. Texas A&M rolling early. Pitcher, this is Caden Camper, a freshman out of Christiansburg, Virginia.
A tough situation coming in for a freshman. This is a high pressure situation that it's going to test her.
Has to face Maya Perez, who's already driven in 6 runs in barely more than a game today. 4 RBIs against Utah State, 2 more in the first inning versus Purdue. Speed. 2-1 count to Perez.
Yeah, nice changeup and a good hold by Perez. The changeups that are low in the zone that bounce in are usually the most deceptive because they look like a strike and just up about until they bounce. It's hard to hold as a hitter, especially one that's really anxious to get the bat on the ball.
Struck pretty well to center field, backing up just shy of the track. Mariah Poehler will make the catch. It's good enough to bring Kennedy Powell home and up the Aggie advantage to 6-0.
That's all you need. Nice little sac fly. A lot of times we get caught up in the stats, but I'll take a sac fly every day of the week.
And Maya Perez will take another RBI.
There we go.
7.
I'm running out of fingers to count them on.
I know. Allie Enright. So for A&M, 3 in each of the first 2 innings. They've staked themselves to sizable advantage. Far cry from the first game against Utah State. A&M never led until the 6th inning. And A&M did not have a hit through the first 3 innings. 7 hits already in this one. And as we said a moment ago, when Caden Camper came into the game, Purdue is already on to their 3rd pitcher. Speed, and Enright was out in front. Nice pitch by Camper. That will close the inning, but the Aggies get 3 more. Texas A&M 6, Purdue nothing. Emily Kennedy, preseason All-American, first team by D1 softball, second team by the NFCA and Softball America. He was an All-American last year as well. One of the more dominant pitchers in the game. Makes her 2025 debut tonight and has sat down Purdue in order in doing so. Here's Kylie Franks.
Yeah, I think the accolades for Emily Kennedy are just really going to pile themselves on this year. I mean, we all know she's talented in the circle, but I think in between her ears has been where she's made the biggest jump. She's really just matured. She knows how to handle the situations. Maybe in the past, the little things that maybe didn't go her way would affect her on the mound. And now she's learned how to take them in stride and just continue to keep throwing her game, knowing she's controlling what she can control. And really that is growing up, right? That's maturing, that's having the experience. I always say I wish I could go back into college with the brain that I have now. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I wish I could go back with this brain that I have and play and see how much different it could be, because your thoughts are just so different with the experience.
You wouldn't be going back that far.
Well, I mean, I don't want to scream it out, you know.
It's guys like me that got to be real careful. It's getting harder to do the math of back when I was in college.
Don't worry, I'll be there one day. I'll understand.
We all will.
That's right. And that's life.
There's no
life
getting younger.
With
that we
and
learned. There is no getting younger. Comebacker to Emily Kennedy, and she will throw out Kylie Franks. But if you look at the year-to-year improvement of this left-hander, I mean, like you said, when Tricia Ford got here, compared to now, she pitches, she walks, she talks with confidence. That ERA column. When she was a freshman, it was 2.94, then 2.47 as a sophomore, 1.93 as you saw there last year. But you can walk and talk more confident when you see statistically that kind of year-to-year improvement.
Yeah, I mean, she's also changed her game every single year. She came in as a drop ball pitcher, and she had a pretty decent freshman year, but then Coach Ford came in and said, oh, no. Lefty throwing 70? No, we're learning a rise ball. So then she taught her the rise ball. Okay, well, now she's added another layer of her game. And then the third year, she's teaching her the changeup and took away her curveball. So now she no longer has like one of her bread and butter pitches, adding a new pitch that's very difficult, probably, if not the most difficult to throw as a softball pitcher. And then this year, it's like, how do you top that? How do you create better and better results every year? You have to make yourself into a different player almost to see success.
Swing and a miss. It got away, but Olivia Johnson will throw out Ashlyn Campbell.
Every year is a battle of what can you add, and I think this year we're really going to see that refined changeup. She's been working on it really hard all fall. She actually stayed on campus over the summer, which a lot of the team did, to fine-tune. I think it really shows you how dedicated and committed they are to being great. Not just being good, but being great. And they want to make it back to OKC. They want to end their season raising that trophy above their heads. I think they finally realize that it's a possibility. They've got the tools to do it.
Well, one game and one run away from the Women's College World Series last year in OKC. Jordan Ramos hits 9th for Purdue. Emily Kennedy trying to go one time through the Boilermaker order, having sat them down in order. Kennedy, 5 strikeouts thus far against the first 8 hitters. Kennedy, 2 strikeouts that inning, 6 for the game. 9 Boilers up, 9 Boilers down.
Kennedy looking sharp. She's dealing, and we can't forget, Kennedy starts with a K.
Albany once and Texas State twice. That sent them on the road for the Super Regional. They went to rival Texas, who was the #1 overall seed in the tournament, and the Aggies took the Longhorns to the edge. A&M took the opening game of the Super Regional. Texas, in 2 close ones, came back to win and punch their ticket to Oklahoma City, but the Aggies feel poised to make another run like that this year and maybe kick down the door and head up to OKC. Olivia Johnson starts off the bottom of the 3rd. A&M has put up 3 runs in each of the first 2 innings. 3 runs on 3 hits first inning. 3 runs on 4 hits in the second. Two RBI single by Maya Perez in the first inning was the big swing. 2 RBI double by Mac Barber, the big swing in the second inning. Johnson back in the first inning grounded out to 3rd base.
Pitch right there is going to be one. And if Camper can find the zone consistently, it's going to be a struggle for A&M. A good changeup is really deceiving, and if one hitter can sit on it and hit it really hard, they might be able to take that away from Camper, make her throw some other options. Just like that. Olivia Johnson.
Exit velocity into center field.
And her first hit as an Aggie.
There you go. Hard hit also.
I got a screwball. Didn't quite get in enough. Left over the middle of the plate. Does a great job not trying to do too much. She drives it right back where it came from. Like you mentioned, that exit velo must have been up there. It's one of the best sounds in the world, don't you think?
Oh, a barreled up ball. Line drive. The only thing better than how it sounds is how that feels to a hitter.
Oh, I'd have to agree with you there.
KK Dement with a 1-1 count. Really like what we've seen from this freshman on her first day as an Aggie.
She seems very composed, especially for a freshman. It's easy to kind of let your emotions go high and low. But I really do believe the ceiling is high for KK Dement wearing an A&M
right
jersey.
There on a pitch that was away but close.
both sides of the ball, too. Like,
Yeah.
usually you see someone shine on one or the other most times.
You talked about earlier in the Utah State game how smooth she looks at second base.
Yes.
Something the coaching staff noticed in the lead up to the season.
Looks like
Is that an illegal pitch?
you guessed it, yeah. We've got an illegal pitch.
This is the second one called on Purdue, first one to be called on Camper.
I think it was maybe something on, well, I thought, but maybe reviewing the footage, I don't see it. It looks like maybe she's referencing coming back to the ball and then coming off and then coming together again. But I didn't see her pull off of the ball. Either way, it's a ball.
And it is 3-1. And it is a walk to KK Dement. First two Aggies are on in the bottom of the third. Speaking of quality freshmen, Frankie Vrajel has had a nice day. She singled and scored a run in the last inning. Showed bunt here. It's strike one.
That ball had a little bit of wiggle on it. See how she kind of attempted twice at it. She realized, oh, it's not quite here yet. Let me try again. Oh, there it goes. The slow, spinny.
Got her to hesitate just a bit.
That's tough. It's one of the tougher things. Bunting a spinny ball.
The next one comes high and tight. Line drive and then trying to get the double play. The throw's in the dirt. Olivia Johnson will move up on the errant throw. KK Dement got back in time.
Yeah, it kind of sinks into that ball. Camper does a good job realizing there's another play to be made, but doesn't get her feet set towards first base. Meeks not able to glove that ball up. Got to keep it in front, though. Want to prevent Olivia Johnson, Ojo, from getting 60 feet closer to home.
And the throw into center field will allow Johnson to come home. KK Dement was moving towards second base. Second throwing error of the inning for Purdue.
Yeah, that's tough because that misplay of that line drive of the double play caused you to be in this situation. Now Dement takes second and Ojo scores easily from third.
Too many free bases here being given by Purdue. This Aggie offense probably doesn't need a ton of help, but that's a pitch in the dirt that allows Dement to move up one more bag. And these errors in that wild pitch, it's by the pitch and catch combo. The Camper and Reef, pitcher and catcher. Three 3-0 count to Kramer Eshte, and now Reef and Camper want to have a chat, try to calm things down here.
Yeah, I like this timeout here from a player perspective. You can tell this was called by the players for the players. Sometimes you just need a moment to breathe, reset, kind of get your mental back in the right spot. Use each other to lean on. My favorite thing to do to my pitchers whenever I was playing first base, or when I do play first base, I just go up to them, try to get their mind off of the game. So I'll ask them something that has nothing to do with the game, just to kind of like flick that switch of like, oh, right, I forgot. Like, we're just playing a game. Like,
where the post-game party is?
No, like I used to ask one of my teammates, Lexi Smith, who played here at A&M. She would be pitching, and I'd be like, hey, you want to go get McDonald's chicken nuggets later? And she'd be like, actually, yeah, that sounds really good. she'd be in the middle of an AB, and then she turns it on the next thing. So it's just distracting your mind, knowing where to put it.
So then she focuses on her hunger.
Right, and
Yeah,
not
I'm hungry
and
now,
not the pressure,
and I'm not worried
right?
about now I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat.
Exactly. See, it got your mind off of it.
Nice piece of hitting by Eshte to go the opposite way. It's just out of the reach of Gossett at third base, and DeMint will score, and the Aggies up the advantage to 8-0.
Speedy lefties are really causing havoc today on the base paths. We've seen the bunt, we've seen a slap, we've seen barrel control in the 5-6 hole. Lefty triple threats.
Now it's Coco Woolley from the left side. Woolley is 3 for 5 today. That combines the Utah State game and this one. I say Woolley is 3 for 5. We got word, I think it was just after this game started, that she had a play in the first game when she got on because of an error. They may have changed that ruling from back in the first game. So then the early season average would get even better. Chopper here, and they'll force out Eshte.
I love the chuckle at the end of that.
You know, sometimes post-game those scoring arguments come to light, and all of a sudden you see, well, they had an extra hit that they didn't have yesterday.
Right. I'm like, if it's an error away, it should be an error home.
Yeah.
I like to just keep it steady, right? I'm like, if it hits the glove, it's usually an error to me. But again, there are extenuating circumstances that are out of my pay grade. So I refuse to comment.
I'll tell you what, there's no, you know, it's pretty easy to put a steal in the scorebook for Woolley because those are quite obvious each and every time, and she just took another bag.
It's almost like expected. If she's on first, just go ahead and give her second too.
Yeah. But whether that play in the first game, in the first inning, was an error or not, it still was incredibly impressive. The ball bounced off a fielder at second base into shallow center field. Woolley never stopped, just slid all the way into second base.
And we've seen that quite a few times from her today, just not hesitating. A lot of times the hesitation takes you out of the play, and she just commits fully because she knows her speed. She's reading the ball, she's reading the defenders, and she trusts her first instinct to go. And she doesn't tell herself, oh, well, maybe I might be out. There's no question in her mind that she's going to make it if she goes, and she believes it full-heartedly, and that's why a lot of times she's safe, because if you question it, it's usually that split second that causes you to get out.
Yeah, I like what you say there, because it's not just the speed, it's the instincts, too.
Yeah, I was never the fastest runner, but that was one thing that I would always pay attention to is I could read the ball. I could, you know, see the play in front of me, and that allowed me to be a good base runner. It was not my speed that people were worried about, but it was the reads you're getting off the ball, off of the defenders, where to be, should I go? Your gut will lead you.
Yeah. A feel for the game.
Can't teach it.
No? Well, with 2 down, A&M has put up another 2 this inning. 2 hits already for, or 2 RBIs already for Mac Barbara. Most impressive swing of the bat for Barbara today wasn't a hit. It was foul.
Oh my gosh. I'm still in awe.
Oh, the foul ball in her last at bat. Close to being fair, went over the pole, was called foul. I think you measured it at 306 feet when you got the metrics on it. Is that right? 306?
306.
Are you kidding me?
Crazy. And I was telling you the last game about the home run I saw that she hit versus Texas in the fall game. And I said that one was the furthest I'd ever seen. And that was only 280. And the fact that I'm saying only in front of 280 is kind of absurd.
Did she not get all of it?
Right.
Did she not barrel it up?
Exactly.
That's why I keep saying that these aren't rumors. They're real. They're real numbers.
Here we go.
Now, Tricia Ford and the coaching staff said also Barbara has a good eye and will take her walks if they don't give her a pitch to drive. And there's another one right there. Bases loaded with Aggies.
That was a good hold, too. Again, that changeup looks really deceptive out of the hand of Camper. When it's low, it's tunneled well. It's hard to hold back, but you see Frazzati going to take a trip out to the mound.
Right now it's Kate Camper on the mound, who will face Maya Perez. Jeff Harder holding court just off third base.
My favorite thing is just watching Mac Barbara and all of her expressions when she's talking, because, you know, talking to the coaching staff throughout this week, getting the lowdown on all the players. They said she can talk. She will talk.
She can and she
the
will,
way they're
yeah.
saying it is just like she never stops talking. Like she just loves to talk no matter what it's about. And I watch her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I see it. I get it. And I'm with you, girl, because I'm a yapper too. Seeing all of their personalities come out to play is fun, even in the midst of all of the competition.
Barbara had a pinch runner check in for Harley Vestal, sister of Brooke Vestal, who was on the softball team here at A&M in 2024.
I believe she's still on staff as well, so nice little connection there, getting to work sister to sister. Cue the theme song.
Well, Maya Perez at the plate. Bases loaded with Aggies, and Perez has 7 RBIs in the first 2 games of the season. Really a game and a half in. 4 driven in against Utah State earlier, 3 already tonight. Has that 2 RBI single and backed it up with a sacrifice fly. Hard cut.
Great spot. Camper really trying to paint the inner half on these power lefties, test them inside, see if they can turn on it. Not quite getting that call. Surely not missing by much either.
That's the third walk in a row issued by Camper. Perez another RBI, and Coco Woolley scores.
Probably the least work she's had to do all night for an RBI.
Yeah.
Home run, double, single. Did she have the cycle of RBIs?
Even threw in a sac fly.
I think we'll most likely see another pitching change here.
And we will get a pinch runner.
I think they might have just been changing the cards.
Yeah, that was
in the
while they
armband.
got Kelsey Mathis into the game as a runner. Allie Enright is the 9th Aggie to the plate in the bottom of the 3rd. Caught the inner half, 2 balls and a strike.
Aggressive takes. Let's go.
It's been Bailey, Klochak, and Camper for Purdue. Bailey through the 1st inning gave up 3 runs. Klochak came out for the 2nd inning and threw to 5 hitters. Didn't have any success. Camper has come on to try to slow down the Aggies, but hadn't been able to make it happen.
Legal pitch there. Brings in another one for Texas A&M.
Now the free passes are coming in abundance. Olivia Johnson will hit for the 2nd time this inning. Started all this off with a single. That's how she began this bottom of the 3rd for A&M.
Good job by Camper just coming back, getting ahead. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Make them earn it.
in foul territory, out of reach of Olivia Meeks. Well, it's a long inning, and Emily Kennedy, she doesn't want to sit through it anymore.
She's got to stay warm. Well, that's what happens when you mow the hitters down in less than 5 minutes, and then your team is hitting for.
She's been working quick.
Right. She's ready to go.
Offensive innings. Yeah, they've taken a little while.
Get my arm warm again. I think that's the hard part, is staying warm as a pitcher when things happen so differently.
Another one in foul territory for Meeks, and she'll take care of this one. That will end the inning. A&M puts up 4 more. Aggies 10, Boilermakers nothing. Purdue pitching has struggled. Emily Kennedy has not. And she's putting that dominance on display to start 2025. But, Tori, it's like we alluded to this just a bit ago. Hadn't seen a whole lot of Emily Kennedy. She's worked quick and then waits for a long time to go back out, because the Aggies, her offense, put up 3 runs in the first, 3 in the second, and then just a moment ago, 4 more runs in the third, in which they sent 10 hitters to the plate.
It was a very long inning for her, with her team being on offense. She's making quick work of the hitters. She's only faced 9, and she's got 6 Ks on the day. I mean, hello? Are you real right now?
Chloe Banks is the top of the order. She'll get a second look at Kennedy. Kennedy struck out Banks looking to start this game at the top of the first. That inning, Kennedy struck out the side. And then 1 more in the second, 2 more in the third. So 2-2 count to start the top of the fourth. This is the only game of the day for Purdue. Struck out Banks looking again. 7th of the night. A&M has made a defensive change. Harley Vestal stays in the game after she was a pinch runner. So she's in left now. And in right field, Scout Lovell. Kylie Griffin in the game, first base.
A&M experimenting here with some plug-and-play pieces. There's something we heard a lot of with all the versatility and the depth, trying to get people in at the right time, right situations, trying to give people experience, and maybe in the infield, maybe in the outfield, getting some ABs. Trisha Ford said it's a little bit of a strategy, especially early in the season. You know, we want to get this person this at bat in this type of situation, but we also want to think about on defense and who can play where, and if she moves here, then where does this person go? It's like one big puzzle. Try to fit all of these really talented and athletic and versatile players into one lineup.
Especially early in the non-conference. You're trying just about everything. Full count pitch to Mariah Poehler. Backing up and over her head. Off the wall, nice stroke opposite field by Mariah Poehler. She's all the way to third base. Trying to put a charge into the Boilermakers. First hit, first base runner of the game for Purdue.
And a shot at that, using Emily Kennedy's speed against her. As a hitter going up against a pitcher that throws as fast as Emily Kennedy does, let her provide the power. Just get your barrel to that ball, and it'll fly.
One hop the wall on the triple by Poehler. Olivia Meeks at the plate. So Kennedy sits down the first 10 Boilermakers to the plate. 7 of them by strikeout. And then the big swing by Mariah Poehler. Speed just missed the outside corner. Skied to right. That's deep enough to score a run. Meeks will drive in Poehler. 10-1.
That's a big sac fly there. I know the score is pretty lopsided at this point, but any time that you could put a run up on the board, especially against a pitcher like Emily Kennedy, you'll take any opportunity that you have.
Allie Enright, who ran that down in center field, is heading toward the A&M dugout. Is that a contact lens?
Looks like it. Perfect camera angle we've got right behind her. And a wave. There we go. That's what we wanted. She ran so far for that ball, I think it might have dried her contact out while she was running. Try to keep your eye on the ball. You got to keep them open. So
I've been there.
It makes
high
sense.
school. I used to wear more contacts. I would pitch in high school games, and sometimes a contact, they can slip down in your eye. And it's hard to get back in yourself.
I love the analysis.
Well, we used to have a
really
first
living.
baseman who wore contacts too. I would just walk over to him. He'd put the contact back in my eye. We could get back going. That's how he had
You
to
let
do
him
it.
touch
Yeah.
your eye?
Well, he's touching the contact lens, not mine.
You gotta
Not my
touch the
lens.
eye.
Yeah, no. That was the only way to do it. So I've been there. I know what that feels like. So Purdue's starting to put up some good swings. Another base hit.
Yeah, that was a shot through the 4 hole. KK Demet, we were singing her praises earlier about how good defensively she is. She's got a lot of range in that 3-4 hole, but isn't able to glove that one. Hit pretty well. I love that we're seeing some adjustments the second time through from the Boilermakers.
Yeah, second time through, you have a triple, a sac fly, a single. First time through was 9 up, 9 down, and 6 of them strikeouts. Pinch hitter here. That's Ryan Ross, senior who started 21 games last year. Emily Kennedy dials up her 8th strikeout. Purdue gets a run, but A&M still well out in front.
Lefty and 70 at the eyes. Another K for Emily Kennedy.
A&M looking to make it a 2-0 opening day. Beat Utah State earlier, well out in front of Purdue here. The Aggies were trailing Utah State 5-3, going to the bottom of the 6th of that first game. Since then, they've batted in 4 innings, and they've put up 8 runs, 3 runs, 3 runs, and then 4 runs. So since trailing at Utah State, they've put up 18 runs and 4 at-bats.
It's like the nerves just exited their body. They were able to
They
put something
had
together.
Those first game jitters going early on against Utah State, but once they got comfortable, you started to see how explosive this offense can be.
Definitely think that's a universal experience for everybody. Game 1 of the season, you feel it at some point. May not be for 4 innings, but it could be 1 at-bat, 2 at-bats. Just depends person to person, but every team will experience it at least once.
Kick it to right field. 1 down in the bottom of the 4th. Aggies will try to close this one out in the next half inning. Scout Lovell in the game. She'll hit from the right side. Lovell used mostly as a pinch runner last year. Expected to have more of a role this season. Sophomore out of Lovelady, Texas. Fouled off her foot, so that's not in play.
Ouch. My least favorite.
There's no bracing for that.
Never. And usually the bruises take at least a year to go away.
Oh, 2 down.
It was a dirty changeup by Camper. Saw it when she first came in, and it took the Aggies by surprise. Then I think they finally started laying off of it, not swinging at it. And now we're seeing it come back to life again. Also, these are hitters who haven't had an at-bat today, so that goes to show the more ABs you have, the more comfortable you feel, the better your eyes are, the better you can decipher that ball coming in. Lovell just a tad late.
Haley Golden in the game to hit. That A&M Baylor game tomorrow night, both nationally ranked, and it's 2 teams that went to game 3s of a super regional last year. We told you how the Aggies took Texas to the edge. Baylor nearly knocked off Florida in a super regional.
That was a phenomenal series, too. Shaylin Govan. It was like home run after home run after home run. It's going to be big hitter versus big hitter tomorrow. Her against Mac Barbara.
Be worth the price of admission right there. And then if you're wondering, now that the season has started, who does Texas A&M start SEC play with? It is Florida. March 7th through 9th here at Davis Diner. Right back at Camper, that'll end the inning. 10-1 Aggies. Head to the 5th. Seventh-ranked team in the country, the Texas A&M Aggies, looking to finish off Purdue. And the Aggies would go to 2-0 on this opening day. Emily Kennedy in this one has been excellent in the circle. She sat down the first 10 Boilermakers to the plate. A&M put up 3 in the first, 3 more in the second, and 4 in the third. They've been somewhat coasting in this one. Hadn't been much trouble. It's been an 8 RBI day for Maya Perez. 4 in the first game, 4 more here tonight.
She's got to be my player of the day, don't you think?
Got to be. I mean, then the wow factor has come from Kramer Eshte.
That's true.
A lot of that from the first game, though. But Maya Perez, I mean, it's almost like if she's coming to the plate, a run's getting driven in.
Not her clocking the cameras. She said, "You're on TV." Go ahead, wave, girl. Hey. I hope she watches this back.
It's almost like she has an earpiece in.
Right? Come in, Maya.
Somebody's telling her. Delaney Reef at the plate. The Aggies certainly enjoying this opening day.
It's a good day when you win.
They've put up 21 runs thus far. It's an even better day when you win twice.
That's right. That's always the goal.
That's in fair territory. Not in time. Good effort by Kennedy Powell. Can't quite get Reef.
A swinging bunt there. Even with the swinging bunt, like Kennedy Powell made that a very close play.
Yeah. It's in that spot where you almost think there's no chance.
Yeah, off the bat I didn't. I was thinking let it roll foul, but the spin of the ball wasn't going to take it.
Yeah. You're right. It was going to stay inside the line.
I think
but
we will
a
get a
review coming up. The Aggies challenge this, hoping for an out call at first base. As it stands, Reef is the leadoff runner on. We'll take another look at it.
Yeah,
not going to win that challenge. Yeah, that call will be upheld. I don't mean to be too intrusive on an umpire's job, but it's 10-1. It's an obvious safe call. This should not take long.
Taking a look here. Okay, I see.
Or is there something else we're looking at?
Well, I think maybe Coach Ford was pointing towards the plate whenever she came out to question, and I think seeing that ball, she was so late that when she swung, it went directly into the ground, and it almost looks from the angle that they have that it hits her foot, which would make that a dead ball, would bring the runner back.
All right, understandable if we're looking at something else. But safe call at first base is upheld, so through all that, Reef is a leadoff runner on.
Yeah, usually with pitchers who throw as hard as Kennedy does, you get a lot of those mishits that somehow fall in for a base hit that if anybody else was throwing and she was that late on a ball, it wouldn't have been a hit. It would have been straight to Powell. So the differences in speed really affect how the ball comes off that barrel, or sometimes not off the barrel, off the handle.
Kylie Franks at the plate. Hit a one-hop comebacker to Emily Kennedy earlier. So she was a 1-3 bounce out. Back at Kennedy again, trying to turn two. Throw is low to first base. Got the lead runner, didn't turn the double play.
Yeah, the throw there from Kennedy just a tad bit high to Coco Woolley there at shortstop as she comes across that base, has to make almost an extra move up and held her momentum. But I like that she threw that into the ground and not over the head of Kylie Griffin at first base, giving yourself a chance to be able to dig that ball out of the dirt instead of no shot when it's over your head. She's learned that with experience.
Pinch hitter for Purdue, Maura Condon. Right by her at 70 miles per hour.
Casual. Is it the pitch count or the miles per hour?
It's because she just threw her 71st pitch. It could be either one, exactly. I made that mistake earlier. I thought she threw an off-speed pitch because her pitch count was at 54.
You can never be too sure.
That's right. I had to wait for the miles per hour to flash up. A little backhand there by a little option flip almost by Kennedy.
PFP.
Mm-hmm. 2 down. Jordan Ramos, who struck out swinging earlier. Kennedy has 8 strikeouts. Tricia Ford. Does she want to make a substitution?
That's a good question.
Ford was talking with home plate umpire Annette Bergman.
I wish there was a mic down there.
Just to us.
Yeah, just to us. So we can inform the listeners.
Doesn't have to go out publicly, just to us. Didn't see an Aggie change after that conversation. Ramos right field over the head of Lovell. So get another run home, 10-2. Well struck, opposite field, Jordan Ramos.
Very well. Ramos doing a good job at letting the speed work for her instead of against her. This pitch elevated on the outer half, keeps it nice and simple. Mechanically, this is the easiest pitch to hit because you don't have to do much with your body. Just take your barrel to the ball and extend. And that's exactly what she does there. RBI double. not going down without a fight.
Yeah, Purdue trying to hang in and extend the game. So Banks at the plate. She struck out looking twice against Kennedy.
Just got to shorten up and poke it here.
Hit it right at Kennedy Powell. Hit pretty sharply, and a bobble by Powell. Can't get her. Runners at the corners.
Shorten up and put it in play, and that's exactly what she does. Again, going with the pitch on the outer half, just barrel straight to it. Powell tries to make that transition, just pops up out of her glove. But now it becomes more of a serious situation. If you're A&M, you're thinking, okay, we got to lock in. We've got 8 runs up on the board in run rule territory now. Unless Ramos scores at third base, then the Aggies will have to go to the bottom of the 5th and try to earn that run back or play out the rest of the game. But Purdue not going down easy.
No, and you have Polar at the plate, who tripled her last time. 3-0.
I'm waiting on the changeup to come back. Probably not in this count, but she was throwing it a little bit earlier in the game. Saw a couple swings and misses. And then relied on that power. Losing a little bit of spotting it right now. Doesn't look as sharp as she did at the beginning of the game. And of course, because you're nice and fresh, inning 1 versus inning 5. Again, almost 80 pitches into this game. Just has to make some minor adjustments.
So bases loaded with Boilers. Tricia Ford out to talk to Emily Kennedy.
Just a little regroup moment. It's easy to know what you have to do, but sometimes it just helps when somebody can call a timeout, come out there, really telling you things that you already know as an athlete in your head, like, okay, find my spots, don't overthrow, right? You're listing off all of these things that you need to do, but it just hits different when it comes from coach.
Olivia Meeks. Can Kennedy end it, or can Meeks extend it? Chopper. That'll do it. Purdue threatens to keep this game going, but the Aggies will finish it off. Texas A&M wins it 10-2. Tori, it's a 2-0 opening day for the 7th ranked team in the country, the Aggies.
Yeah, a change from game 1, but a very impressive start to game 2, keeping that momentum, and a stellar outing from Emily Kennedy. I think it's the beginning of what we're going to see from her this season.
We appreciate you joining us on the SEC Network tonight. Thanks to the staff at 12th Man Productions on the A&M campus for bringing you this one across the airwaves. For Tori Vidalis, I'm Will Johnson saying so long. Texas A&M goes 2-0 on opening day.